What's up, people? Hello, and welcome back to the technical difficulties. The Cup Chasers podcast. Of course, thanks for being here. Thanks for listening. It has been an action-packed few days since last we were here, and we're going to try to get to it all. Of course, Chelsea couldn't hit water if they fell out of a boat. Jurgen Klopp has decided he is leaving at the end of the season. Xavi Hernandez has said the same, and therefore Arteta is no, he's not. There's also the return of the Premier League. Lots of spicy fixtures this week, but Marcus Rashford doesn't really seem to care. Also, the AFCON penalty bonanza has been going on in the round of 16. So we're going to try to hit it all. And of course, Manchester City have finally scored at 3-Point Lane. But before we get into all of that, go ahead and hit the likes. Subscribe to the channel if you are new. There's my man Nez. What's up, buddy?
Hello.
And of course, if you're enjoying all the content, get that notification bell on so you know when the next one and the next one and the next one is coming. But I suppose we can start at Stamford Bridge. What are you telling me, guys?
You know, I saw a stat, and this was more so for the Premier League, but it said that if Chelsea finished at an average clip on their chances or whatnot, and it's like, you know, like scoring chances, they would be fifth in the league.
Oh,
they would have 11 more points. And it's like, and I think this game's a perfect, microcosm of it all. We played well. I thought we played fantastic. Couldn't score. Didn't matter.
The biggest difference between, and here's it's clinical. We lack lethality in front of goal. We lack the clinical finishing it takes. We lack Potter and Pochettino have scored the same amount of goals in the same amount of games. The only difference that separates those two, is our defense isn't that much of Swiss cheese like it was when we had Potter.
That's the only defense was really good last year. What are you talking about?
They're performing better now under Pochettino than under Graham Potter. Game for game. If you compare the offense, they had the same amount of goals. Game for game, they haven't leaked as many goals. So
these stats don't really tell the story.
It's just we should have won this game by 4. We should have put them away. We should have put them away within the next between the 20th and the 30th minute. We should have put them to bed. That game was ours to put them to bed. Now we have to go into Villa Park, and with our tail tucked, which is already a hard place to play. We caught Villa on their off day. We caught Villa away from home, and we didn't put them to bed. We deserve what's coming at Villa Park, and that's all.
To be fair, when Villa beat Arsenal, and also when Villa beat City, both games were because we didn't finish our dinner. Both of us. And once again, you guys didn't beat Villa because you refused to finish your dinner. So if somebody decides to score goals, Villa are there to be beaten.
Mm-hmm. And I think we'll be – I mean, I get what X is saying, and I don't disagree, but I also think that we'll be a stronger side when we go to Villa Park, more than likely. And I think that will play a huge role. I mean, we won't be playing Disasi as a right back, and maybe we won't play Colwell as a left back.
I wouldn't count on it.
I was playing FC 24 today, and it has Colwell as a left back, and I'm like, no, he's not. Stop it. Stop it now.
Let me ask you this, though. If Chile played for 90 minutes versus Middlesbrough.
He played for 65. I was wrong. I thought it was 90, but it was 65.
Did he get a setback? Why did he not even feature? Did he come in versus Villa?
He came in the 65th minute.
Yeah, I was watching Spurs City, so I didn't have my eye on it completely.
He came in
65th minute.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
Will
he start? versus Liverpool or even versus Villa.
100%.
Yeah.
I think Nkunku will play. I don't think he'll
available
start.
Full game. I don't think he'll start.
Gusto is still out.
Yep.
So that probably means DCIC, Colwell.
Will it be the same? Badia Shield at left back, maybe?
Nah, they won't do that. No. They would rather do well, I wonder if Colwell, because Colwell didn't play. I wonder if his knock is more than just.
Oh yeah,
I need to look.
Yeah. They haven't released anything from that on Fifth Stand.
I need to look.
I think.
Well, doesn't that normally mean he's straight then? Like there's nothing to report, so he's just good to go?
Or they're waiting for their test to come back.
Let's see.
Yeah.
I mean, it's muscular. It's muscular.
Isn't it always?
With the Chelsea injury, it's going to be muscular. It's a pulled hammy.
Do you think you guys should just replace the medical team with like some masseuses?
Yeah, we have to, bro.
They're actually out after this year, from what I've read.
Right.
Bring in some massage therapists.
I mean, if we can't, it doesn't matter. If none of them can put away goals, it doesn't matter. We could hire the whole. You know what? This is a family-friendly show. I'm not even going to get into that. You could It does not matter when you can't finish goal. When you cannot put away again, you can't put away your dinner. When you cannot finish them off at their weakest point, when they give you the opportunity again and again and again, bro. Cole Palmer gets the ball inside the box, one-on-one with the keeper, misses it. Broja, one-on-one with the break, one-on-one with the keeper. All you have to do is pick a side and a touch. That's all you have to do to beat him there. And no,
should have got Sassy in the box more.
Bro. The Fox in the box, I'm telling you.
Bang one home.
He had it versus Burra.
Just bang one home. It's just, I was just so frustrated with this. And I knew after like the fifth one, the boys already had it in their head too. You could tell it's like, we're not putting one away. No one, they just got frustrated with it. No one wanted to put one away. 2-on-1 keeper. No. It's just.
It was good to see that Potterchino was listening to the last podcast and you had that back line on toast. That high line, y'all got in behind him a number of times. But it's the same old story.
Tell it we can't finish.
Just can't finish.
Can't put it away.
I'm telling you, that's why Didier Drogba is like latched to Victor Osimhen.
As long as Nigeria are still down in the Ivory Coast, Drogba's gonna be there.
He's gonna be right next to him. No, okay, so his injury is considered minor. It remains to be seen whether he's available for the trip to Liverpool on Wednesday. But even if he is not, he is not expected to miss much time. So I don't think he plays.
It sounds like to me.
I don't think he plays.
Yeah. Well, that's actually, segues are weird. Speaking of Wednesday, Jurgen Klopp has announced he's leaving at the end of the season. Now, when I first heard that,
I thought it was a joke.
When I initially heard it, I was like, "There's no chance. There's no way." I was in denial immediately. But then
is that from Troll Football or
right? I looked in like every news outlet that in existence was reporting the same thing, and I was like, "Whoa!" And then I actually went and I watched the interview. I watched his full interview, and it was very interesting. You know, I can definitely understand where he's coming from, and I think we sometimes forget that these managers literally give up all hope at a normal life.
Oh yeah,
for the time that they're in the game. Klopp said it himself, he is at the very least taking a year to try to find some of that normal life, to try to see what there is, because he's been in the game like 24 years. He's been coaching. He did 7 years at Mainz, 7 years at Dortmund. This is year 9.
Wow.
That's 23 years.
Yeah.
And he's still got 6 months to go. So, think about it. And what's he, 56, 57? So he's given up all of his 30s, 40s, half his 50s to the game. I feel like the man deserves some time off. But I can't, tribalism hat off for a second. It's going to be sad not having him in the league.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's been a fixture, like you said it, man, for so long, and he's respected across. He's brought Liverpool. I don't hate Liverpool because of Klopp. I don't hate Liverpool fans because of Klopp. Like, Klopp carries this respectable. He's a likable manager even across colors. Like, he really. I don't mind Klopp. I've never minded him in a press conference. I've never minded him when we played, even though we've tied for all 9 years. It doesn't matter. Took us to PKs, and he's always given us a great game. I
love seeing him on the sideline.
Oh yeah, and he's
number one favorite moment was this season, the hammy.
The hammy. That's why he's done. He's like, yo, I'm too old to get this.
Yeah, man, I can't pull that other hammy.
On the sideline, I get that.
Oh man.
If I pull that other hammy, it's
over. He's gonna be out there.
It's over.
Well, yeah. I will say this: I still hate Liverpool. No questions asked.
Oh, me too, for sure.
I respect Klopp as a manager. I respect him as a manager when he was at Dortmund. I thought he was actually kind of screwed out of a Champions League title with the whole what was his name? Y'all know what I'm talking about.
Oh God. Yeah.
The German guy who went to Bayern. Oh, it's gonna drive me crazy.
Was that Götze? Was that Mario Götze?
Yeah, that was Götze. Yeah.
Well, I mean, Hummels went there too.
From Dortmund to Bayern. Yeah.
Didn't Lewandowski go from there too?
He did. Yep.
Yeah.
Was Barca not in between, or was Barca after?
Barca
was after. Yeah.
Because Lewandowski won the Champions League with Bayern.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He went. Okay, so he played for Dortmund for 4 years, and then he went to Bayern. And let's see, Dortmund Champions League final. They played in 2013, so it was his. He went the next year, but Götze left, Hummels left, and I think that truthfully that Dortmund team had every chance to potentially beat Bayern in England. Bayern was, Götze was kind of like playing double agent. It seemed like in that game. Which he was fantastic that season.
Yeah, you'd know how to spot a double agent, wouldn't you? Ashley Cole.
Hey now.
Excuse me.
But so I think he missed out on another Champions League title just because of that. That said, I respect him as a manager. I think the world of him and his adjustments. If they don't hire Alonso, which they probably will, De Zerbi was linked with them at one point, but I think he might get Barcelona, which is
Ange is third on that list, actually, from what I've heard. The bookmakers have Ange Postecoglou at 4-1 odds to be the next Liverpool manager. De Zerbi's the same; he's also 4-1, but they think it's shabby. The bookmakers right now think it's shabby.
Yeah,
for sure.
You would be dumb not to put him at the top.
Oh, there it is. There's the play. Xavi comes. Oh no, Xavi he wins the league and then comes to Liverpool.
Yeah, he's got to make sure him and Granit Xhaka have to make sure Harry Kane doesn't get his shoe-in trophy this season. Yeah. But Lewis, I'm interested. Or go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, it was actually a little sad though to realize someone that has been that influential to the league, and it doesn't even feel like 9 years. It really doesn't.
No.
But being that influential to the league, because if you think about it, teams changed how they played to try to keep up with Liverpool, because we saw it with Chelsea and Conte. Conte's running this 3-5-2, and teams are like, wait a second, we need to run this. So then it became a copycat. But the thing is other than the top tier teams, you can't run it because it's his mind. You know, he knows how to put the pieces in the right spot, and of course he's got fantastic talent to manage. But he's been a good player manager for one. You never hear anything from players leaving that say, screw Klopp or whatever.
Just rival players.
Just rival players. Exactly. But I think, honestly, across the league, there is a mutual respect for him. And that's kind of hard in a league where everybody hates each other.
Yeah, I agree 100%. Lewis, I think you're kind of uniquely poised in at least this space because, Klopp and Liverpool have pushed you and City to the very edge on a number of occasions. I mean, Klopp's hit 90 plus points 4 times and only won once.
It's City Pool is a cool thing. I mean, the funny thing is when I saw it, I watched the video first. And I thought it was like an AI generated thing, right? So I saw the video. I didn't see the notification. I saw the video from, I think it was Bleacher Report or somebody like that. And it was only like the first segment where he said he was gonna leave. But the thing is, it makes sense to me for a couple of reasons. The first reason is I don't know if it was you guys I was talking to about this, but I know I talked to somebody about it where after 7 years, Klopp normally kind of has trouble at his teams and they have a bad season. And so last year, or it was either last year or the year before, it was that year. And so
last year. So
the question was he going to get fired? So I think for him, I think he's so used to that sort of 7-year change that it was something that it almost felt natural for him to go do something new. Also, there's reports that came out that, and I mean, I don't know how real they are, but this kind of makes sense that his wife had to convince him to finish the season because he actually wanted to quit last year and in the middle of the season. So he was because he wanted to take his sabbatical. And just seeing when managers perform at that high of a level, how much it taxes them just because they've created a standard that they have to hold themselves to. It's different than what you ask other people to hold themselves to, is being able to do what you can do. And for him, Pep took a sabbatical after all that success at Barcelona, and everyone thought he was crazy. But it made sense. I mean, he took a year and a half off, and then he went to Barcelona, and he was fine, And he has the zeal. And I think it was interesting that they asked him first because they had a rivalry, and it's a friendly rivalry. It's not like a mean rivalry. They had a rivalry when he was at Dortmund, and Pep was at Bayern, and even in the Premier League. And I mean, Pep said he'd miss him, and he said, like tongue in cheek, he said, he won't lose sleep anymore now because before playing Liverpool and he's gone. And I mean, I think as Liverpool supporters, this is a big deal for them for this season. But I like and I appreciate what he's done because he didn't put him in a place where they went in the sort of Sir Alex Ferguson manner where they were so deep in that they couldn't make any changes wholesale. And it's interesting because Van Dijk came out today and they asked him if he's going to be a part of the next project. And he said, I don't know. And I think that's fair because Van Dijk has 18 months on his contract. Salah has. And so we have to understand that even
Trent as well.
Yeah. And as we make
that's just it. Klopp's going to see his boys out. That's all this is. That's why he didn't quit last year. He wants to see that core, his spine. He wants to see his boys out.
Well, I would say he didn't quit last year because he realized, oh man, there's a whole lot to fix here. And I feel like he would feel bad leaving Liverpool in such a state. But it's I think someone else is going to pick up his project because you can see that they've already started a rebuild.
Yeah, but it's even the whole leaving it in this state is that they were already sort of on. You have guys that are long in the tooth. They're no longer who they were in their prime, or some of them their primes are not matching the other guys' prime. So I think he's going to leave them because his entire backroom staff is going with him. Like everyone is leaving with him. So
I heard the sporting director is even leaving.
Everyone is leaving with him, so they're starting over, which is actually quite good.
What we just did, dude, it's stumbling. It's hard. It's hard.
I wouldn't make that comparison.
But I will say this:
It will
knowing
be that
how
comparison
FSG is, it would be concerning because have they shown that they will spend money? Yes, they have. But I mean, you look at this summer, right? He went for Caicedo, didn't get him. He went for Enzo the previous window, couldn't get him. He went for Lavia, couldn't get him. But because he's such a good manager, he was able to, okay, we can't get this guy, but here are my options. And it was less money, of course. Still money being spent, but he got Graven back. He got Endo and
Szoboszlai.
Exactly. And so, I mean, Szoboszlai, I think he was a year away from like being, on the map. People who run in, football manager circles and FIFA, they all, talk about how incredible he is on there. And so, of course, you've got some people like, yeah, he should have moved. But, I think he was a year away from being like, okay, so that's an example of either his scouting network itself or his eye for talent. And with FSG, you don't know. I mean, they may need to lean a little bit more on the academy, which there's some talent there, but they're not going to have Klopp to teach them, And maybe Zabi will do it. But I think you made a really good point, pod or two ago. We've got 1 year on Zabi. Who's to say he's the next great one? It's possible. But everybody
like
thought
30 games.
Zabi,
Yeah, he's got like 30 games or something like that.
Yeah. But people thought Zavi was going to, carry on with Barcelona, and that's clearly not happening. So,
well, I think you've hit it right on the head. It comes back to the owners. Lewis, you mentioned a minute ago that Pep took a sabbatical after the craziness at Barcelona, and he even cited, if you guys remember, that how the stressful environment that Barcelona was like the main reason Pep was like, I'm done there. I'm not doing this anymore. And he needed a year off after being there, And so, I mean, if you look at even look at Man United, Ferguson stopped running the club, and for 13 years they've been a shambles. It's taken Arteta, it's taken Arsenal 7 years to get back to even the Champions League, just the Champions League. Chelsea is going through a rebuilding process. So definitely the powers that be behind the club are going to be very, very important in the coming days. And no matter what happens, no matter who goes into Liverpool, there's going to be a drop off.
Oh, yeah.
And there's a ton of pressure, a drop off, and a ton of pressure.
Well, I mean, yeah, even more so if they go on to be successful this season in the remaining time.
Yeah, but I mean, I think Lewis made a good point. Salah's got 18 months. Van Dijk's got 18 months. I mean, we're all expecting Salah to kind of call it after this contract. I mean, just
he'll go to the Saudi league.
He'll go to Saudi for sure.
He'll go to Saudi.
We were all expecting that.
Okay.
I'm sure Allison's contract's coming up. I mean, you start to really kind of look down.
Alisson Becker for the next 5 years. I do not care how old that man gets. I would sign.
Yeah, well, Van der Sar played till he was 97.
Yeah, true. Yeah, and,
goalkeepers can play forever.
Rob Green that played for Chelsea at 41 or something like that. It was crazy.
Man City still have a goalkeeper on the books that's like 40 something.
Yeah,
the third stringer.
I will say this though: everybody's talking about his accomplishments, and they're incredible. I'm not degrading them by any means, but there is a stat out there that shows that Chelsea has won the same thing, except for Chelsea won a Europa League final or Europa League, and Liverpool ended up winning an EFL Cup.
Yeah, well, here's the stat for you, a counter stat to that. Chelsea's last 15 trophies have all come in the same period of 15 different managers.
I know, it's insane.
If you look at all the trophies that Klopp has won, and I'm talking the Community Shield, the Club World Cup, it's like 9. He's got like 9 or something, or 8. And for one guy to do that in 9 years is super impressive. And what makes it even more impressive, especially when we start talking about GOATs and where people, are, because I know Lewis just loves a discussion about who's the greatest ever. When you start having these kinds of conversations, you think about the fact that Klopp had Poole at such a high level in spite of Pep Guardiola.
Yeah.
In spite of having one of the greatest managers of all time put together one of the greatest teams in Premier League history, Klopp put up 90 points in 4 different seasons.
That Klopp, what is it? It's Liverpool 19, right? That's their.
You're talking about leagues? Total leagues?
No. I'm talking about Liverpool's team. Like the prime era for Liverpool is like Liverpool 19 or
it was 18. It was like 18, 19 to like when they won the Champions League.
Yeah. So
which was 3 or 4 years later. So that 4-year period, they won it all. They won everything.
One of those Premier League seasons where it is compared to Jose's goal season. Like, yeah, you can go.
Yeah, because they lost one game
right
at the Etihad. They were really close to having the greatest season the world has ever seen. They almost won. No, I'm not kidding. They almost won the quad.
Yep.
They hit 97 points, lost once. So they almost went invincible and they won the FA Cup that season and almost did the double in an invincible year. I would be so pissed if they pulled that off. I would not be able, because my Invincibles would look like dog crap. We went out to Chelsea in the FA Cup in like the 4th round that season. We lost in the Champions League in like the quarterfinals, the Invincibles year. So for Liverpool to have, if he would have pulled that off, like my Invincible would mean nothing.
Yeah, Jose's season would mean nothing.
Yeah, because that would eclipse it. Them both.
Right. Kind of going back to the whole thing of you saying, it's one, which those trophies were won by 15 different managers. I think that kind of reinforces, though, it was all about the organization and the manager was just a placeholder.
Yeah, well, pre-Bowley, Roman had it locked.
Oh, Roman was the manager. It did matter. Roman was the manager.
Right. And so, talking about Klopp, that was Klopp's accomplishments.
Yes.
How does that transition to another manager with FSG? That's what I'm interested in seeing.
They'll pay a mid-tier. They'll get somebody younger, just as charismatic.
I mean, right now, all eyes are pointed at Xabi Alonso, and unless he absolutely capitulates. And, they finish 14th or something, and it's just a horror show.
That's the worry I have with him, though, is, you can go do it in – it's just it's the added saying.
Yeah, see, we could get into this conversation about that era of players becoming managers. Right. You guys probably don't want to get into that.
For you, bud.
But I'm currently dealing with one of those guys. So yeah, it'll be interesting. It'll definitely be interesting to see. But we do have 6 more months with old Jurgen, and in the immediate future, a wonderful, beautiful, incredible angel has whispered some news in my ear about Wednesday. Yes, Chelsea are at Anfield, and hopefully they can produce a win finally for Patrick's birthday.
Oh
yeah, man! Happy birthday, buddy! Early, couple days early. I'm certainly cheering for your Blues to do something, but you just know Anfield is gonna be nuts.
Oh, it's gonna be insane. How was it for Norwich? Do we know?
Klopp was crying on the sideline while they were singing "You'll Never Walk Alone."
Oh my goodness!
It's gonna be intense, man. It's gonna be even more intense. This is the first league game, and it's not Norwich. It's a real game.
Yeah, exactly.
No offense to Norwich, Lewis. I know you're a fan, but
I already know it's coming, man. He's gonna break the tie. It's going 1-2. It's going 2-1 straight to Liverpool.
Yeah, I fully. I mean,
Just
would I love for us to
keep
get
the
a
narrative
draw
rolling.
like we
It just
got
fits
on
the
day
storyline.
one?
I need some hope, man. I need some confidence. Yeah, it's a big moment. It's a happy moment. It's kind of a bittersweet or whatever for Liverpudlians. But man, we need I'm still invested in this season. We need.
We're not.
I am. I need you guys to put one on them. I need you guys to like pull a shocker, pop the balloon. Is there a world? Is there even a shot?
Yeah. Oh yeah, the first 2 chances they give us early, if we put them away, that's going to be a game.
So what do you think? What do you think the approach is? Is it going to be Palmer in the false 9 again, or is Brozier back in?
Yeah, it's Palmer. It's Palmer.
And Sterling starts.
I actually
want to see Mud Dog, man.
I want to see Mud Dog start too.
I wanted to ask y'all this because I've been thinking about it since the Villa game, and it's something that I've noticed ever since Palmer's joined Chelsea. Why do goalkeepers have a problem getting the ball past him?
He's very long legs. Like literally, it's that basketball player whose arms aren't supposed to be that long.
Like,
but he seems so small though. It's like he's waiting in the weeds. And then when the goalkeeper goes to kick it, he pops up and he's there.
All my man does is just turns this way.
And he can hide behind the defenders. I mean, oh god! Next thing you know, we're at Stamford Bridge. The grass is going to be blue like Boise State, so he can blend in.
Just nice reference. Nice reference. No, I mean it's just something that I've been considering because Burra had a problem with it. Emmy had a problem with it.
He reaches, bro. He just.
I mean, it's almost like they don't realize how long his reach is.
That's what I'm saying. That's what it looks like.
I'm gonna name a blast from the past, and y'all are gonna laugh. If you don't laugh, I'll be disappointed. But it's almost like Peter Crouch.
Oh my god. That's the gangliest, most awkward dude that's ever played in the Premier League.
I know. But it's almost like that, You're just like, how does he keep doing it?
He looked like Inspector Gadget out there.
But if you think about it, he did it against Fulham, so he did it against Leno. He's done it against Emmy. I think he did it against Ederson. I'm pretty sure he did it against Ederson.
That was chock full of mistakes, that one for sure.
That press behind is actually very well. Like that's what Potterchino. Oh my goodness,
I've got you saying it too.
Yes. Well, I mean, after that Villa game, that's what he's named right now for me. But that's what he has. This when Connor's in, the press is actually so tight that I think that the goalie, like, it truly forces them to. And Palmer has that, like, quicker than he looks, a little bit more gangly than he looks. They fall for it, man.
So let me ask you this. I've heard some rumors. Nkunku, is he back? Is he fit? Will he be in the team? What do we think of him?
He'll come in if he'll play. Yeah.
He'll come in as a sub.
Like,
so we're thinking Gallagher, Enzo, Caicedo again?
Yeah.
100%.
Which, listen, Caicedo got all the flack that he should have beginning, but he has become steady as steady can be.
He's not nervous anymore. You can kind of.
He doesn't look nervous.
He doesn't look nervous.
He's playing within himself, and I honestly think that he'll even unlock more once we can get Lavia into the team.
I mean, Caicedo would have been the main narrative if Klopp hadn't announced he was leaving. Yeah, the whole might have gone to Liverpool in the summer.
Yeah.
I expect him to have a little something, a little chip at least.
Well, for Enzo and Caicedo, because they wanted both of them pretty badly.
For the prediction, like my prediction is not the Predictions League prediction I will make for a rarity in the books.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, Predictions League wise, I'm going.
Well, speaking of, we'll go ahead and pop up. We'll remind everyone of the Predictions League standings. Of course, the holder, the champ, Patrick's still at 226. Old Nez is right behind at 220. I'm on 210. And Xavier got some work to do, buddy. Got some work to do. Yeah, you don't want to be wearing that T-shirt. I'm gonna have it made for you. That's for sure. I'm excited about that. But yeah, do you want to?
It's a great idea.
You want to avail us of that? That their prediction?
I think it's gonna go Liverpool 2-1, man.
Ooh,
really?
Ouch. Against the boys because he can't lose the league. The predictions league. That's rough. I don't think you've ever done that.
Nah, it's rare.
I don't think you've ever voted against. Done a prediction against.
Oh, the game's going to be us. The game's going to be 2-2. That's how this game is going to finish.
Oh, of course, because it's 97 ties in a row or something.
The game's going to be 2-2.
Has Klopp ever beaten Chelsea or except in the penalties? It's all been draws.
Straight for the last 6 seasons or something like that.
18 back-to-back.
Let's see. He has record against. Let's see.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he may have won 1 or 2 outside
Okay, so
cups.
He's faced Chelsea 29 times.
Sure.
I'm sorry, 22 times. I apologize.
Sure. Yeah. Yep.
9 wins, 9 draws, 4 losses.
Yeah, that tracks.
I need it though, man. I really need you guys. I really need it. Okay, I've gone 2-0 for Liverpool.
That's what I thought.
I don't think you guys can score.
No.
Especially at Anfield on a raucous, crazy day.
Why
it's gonna be tough.
He waited like 2 more weeks to announce this?
Oh, because he wanted this. He wanted to break this tie. He knew it as soon as he
look at the run though. It's Arsenal right after.
He did this. I knew it. I was like, oh, there it goes. I was like, yeah, it was gonna be a draw all before everything's fine. Business as usual. Going to Anfield, they come to us. We change this. As soon as he made that presser, I was like, oh. That's it.
Let me just say I'm grateful that we've already been to Anfield this season.
That's
because it's going to be a nightmare going to Anfield
it's not gonna be fun.
for the rest of the season.
Man in the world's going to pack that stadium to say bye to Klopp, man. They love
for the rest of the season. It's going to be a madhouse. Oof. Yeah, so I got 2-0. What you think, Patrick?
I hate picking losses. It sucks.
It sucks.
It really sucks.
It
but
sucks.
I think that, I think about last year when Liverpool came to Chelsea and they were supposed to be the better side and Chelsea just outplayed them. They couldn't score to save their lives. It sounds all too familiar. I do think we have a goal in us. I do. What I worry about is what is the left back situation. They're
just going to pick the weak side and absolutely crush it down our throats the whole game.
Well, that's what you have to do. That's why I said Mud Dog should play. If you can get in behind Trent with the speed and then, for the love of God, pass to someone else.
It'll be Sterling, so he's going to flock that too.
Oh. We just got to hope Cole Palmer
is there in the box. Little fox in the box.
Yeah. We just
DCIC.
We need the DCIC Palmer combo to take it down.
Our false 9 is actually playing as a right back.
He's a right back. That's why it just comes out and you don't see it coming.
Look, no one knows how to play against that because Chelsea doesn't even know how to play it. They're not sure what Pochettino's saying. It's like, dude, speak English. When you go, you fall into Spanish when you get excited. Like,
I do think we can be stronger in the midfield than them. I do. Maybe I'm wrong in thinking that they don't have Endo. It will be Gravenbach.
It'll probably be Curtis Jones. I heard McAllister's injured.
Oh, okay.
So it'll probably be Curtis Jones, Gravenberg, and will it be Elliott? Sabazalai's out as well.
Oh.
No Sabazalai? Okay.
Yeah, he's been injured for a while. It might be Harvey Elliott.
Okay, well, that's favorable.
I think you can y'all can handle that.
Curtis Jones concerns me because that dude was just whipping in crosses like nobody's business the other day. And I'm like...
It was Norwich.
No, this wasn't even against Norwich. It was against somebody else.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
It was before they played Norwich.
Yeah, when they smashed Liverpool, when they smashed Bournemouth. Oh, you're talking about
It was
the
against
cup, the
Fulham.
League Cup game. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he was whipping in crosses left and right like it was nobody's business. I do worry about the center covering, Nunez. He's gotten really clever. Of course, the back post.
Look out, because that's where they're aiming.
Oh, exactly. That's the game plan is attack the back post. That's all the game plan is.
If Chelsea have any hope, y'all are gonna have to score more than once because they're gonna hit you on the back post on at least one.
I'm thinking 3-1 Liverpool.
Yeah, Diogo Jota is he's cold, man. He's mean. I don't like it, especially because Salah won't be there for Chelsea or Arsenal. That means Jota's leading the line, and he's been doing some.
Yeah.
The finish for the shoot, he had another one against Norwich, man. He's just ripping the net off. Just craziness. What you saying, Lewis?
I got 1-0.
Boring.
Liverpool.
Yeah.
I think we're going to give them a game. We always give Liverpool a game.
It's weird, isn't it?
It is.
Well, Chelsea tend to get up for,
top flight teams.
You're
rich? Oh, you're rich like us? We'll play you.
You'll make Arsenal have their worst game. You'll play a 4-4 barnstormer versus City. You'll tie Liverpool 7 games in a row and then lose to Borough.
Yeah.
Borough. But no, seriously, I mean, I think we have to agree that if this turns into another draw, we shouldn't even play the League Cup. We should just start at penalties.
Yeah, just save everyone's time.
Start at penalties.
Yep. We don't need to tax anyone. We're just gonna come at you for a nice penalty shootout because everyone knows that's where it's going anyway.
That's where it's going.
Absolutely. Was there any goals in either game at Wembley, or did it go 0-0 depends?
0-0 depends.
No,
both times.
0-0.
Yeah, and Chelsea had 2 goals.
And the one.
Don't even play it. Don't even play it.
And the one pin went like all the way down to the.
That was Kepa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kepa. Yeah. Kepa was the only one that missed a PK.
Was Kepa.
Wow. Speaking of former, we'll get to this in a bit, but speaking of former goalkeeper, Chelsea goalkeepers, Mendy had a game in goal for Senegal.
Mendy, baby.
Yeah. But we'll get there a little bit, absolutely. But yeah, man, I'm really, as much as it's a whole sentimental thing, and we're gonna miss Klopp at the end of the season for sure. You guys I really need you to smash him. I really need you to pull a madness and shock everyone.
I'm here for it, but
yeah, absolutely. But speaking of eras coming to an end, Lewis, your boys finally scored at 3-point lane
for 3 points.
No, I mean it was knock Spurs out of the cup. And
did you see Expression's response to them?
Oh, it was fantastic. That match reaction was epic. But City with their 115 at 116th charge, it's a real sketchy goal. What you saying, Lewis? What you think? Super sketchy stuff.
I mean, Diaz was doing that the whole game. They never called it before then. So,
I'm messing with you.
So why call it then? I mean, Diaz had position. He went to go head the ball. The keeper wasn't strong. And
the people that say that Diaz was blocking him off on the second, right as Ake was popping it in, clearly didn't see the fact that Diaz was going for the ball. He was moving away from Vicario to try to tap it in himself. So it's complete nonsense to say that he blocked him off. It was the goal is fine. The goal is 100% fine.
I mean, Diaz's leg was flying in the air because he was trying to put the ball in. So, I mean, either or, we won there. I mean, it wasn't the margin that, you would like for it to be dominant. But, I mean, at that point, you just want to get the win. City was, like, first half, they controlled the game. Second half, it was a little more balanced. It was good to get the goal, and they won. I mean, we move on. And now we get Luton Town.
You actually got Luton in the cup. Yeah, I didn't see
We
that.
got whoever wins against the Villa match, Chelsea Villa, they get like Preston. No, I'll have to look. It's like, oh wow, that's a really good draw.
Nice.
I'll
Yeah.
have to go and look.
Yeah, good deal. Spurs were awful though in this game. Let's be honest.
What did I say? What did I say? Who's going to score for him?
Yeah, no one.
Nobody.
No one to speak of. I've heard Brendan Johnson catching a lot of flack. $40 million flop, they're calling him. But yeah, I mean, Timo made a ton of good runs.
He always does.
Timo was, I mean, they just wouldn't play him the ball.
Because he was probably offsides.
They just didn't want to play him the ball. You know, he made a bunch of good runs, getting in behind because Kyle Walker was playing like Riyad Mahrez. You know, he was playing wing. You know, his heat map probably has him in the opposite corner flag more often than not. Yeah, you know, and so there was space, but they just didn't want to give Timo the ball. I guess they watched him at Chelsea for the last 3 seasons.
Yes.
Sorry.
One blame.
Sorry.
One blame. They must not have watched him though to bring him in on a loan.
Yeah, it's great. That one still baffles me. But Spurs had one shot. It was on target. City had 18 shots. Yes, De Bruyne should have. I don't know how he's missed that. I don't know how he's missed that.
When he missed that, I'm like, maybe it's true. Maybe they're never supposed to score there because he hits that in his sleep.
Yeah, it's interesting to me that in games where it seems like, you know, it just might not be City's day, Nathan Ake seems to pop up.
Mm-hmm.
In last year's FA Cup, Arsenal were arguably the better team for most of the game. And then later on, Nathan Ake pops up with a soul crusher.
Yep.
He's just got a thing about North London, I guess. I don't know.
The Chelsea Academy, he must hate Spurs. And
He must hate the North Londoners. Yeah.
I can't believe we let him go.
How many players are you guys saying that about? Like all of them. Mo Salah, Kevin De Bruyne.
Okay, yeah.
I mean, even Sammy Eto'o, you kind of, you know. Samuel Eto'o was at Chelsea for longer, though.
No, he was there for a year. He
was there for a while.
He came in on the back end.
Too.
Not on the back end of his career.
Yeah.
Was that after Barca? No.
Yes.
Yeah, that was way after Barca.
Was it really?
Because you have to remember, Sammy Eto'o created the walking cane celebration.
Okay.
Russia.
Because
with William.
Mao, because Mao said, or because Jose said he was too old to be a striker. So he was just like, oh yeah. Bangs one home, runs to the corner flag. It's like, oh, my bad.
Leave it to Jose to incite some BS like that. Yeah.
To encourage him. That's how you.
Yeah, that's all it was to encourage him to.
Yeah, that's Jose, the special one, the mastermind. Yeah, he's special, all right.
Hey, got him to score a goal.
Goodness gracious. But yeah, the hoodoo.
We were discussing this before you hopped on. Did Jack Grealish go out? Or Grealish. Golly. Sorry, I'm all over the place.
Jack Relish.
Did Jack Grealish go out and party after this? Because y'all done it all now. I mean, this was your rainy night at Stoke.
The real crowning glory of Pep's reign is they finally beat Spurs.
Well, I mean, he did say it in the presser that, the next goal is to score. It wasn't to beat them. It was to score at the stadium.
Just to score.
Just to score.
But did Jack Grealish get drunk? And you haven't seen anything, but Jack has been super quiet this year because his form has sort of been in and out. So as much as, you want to, have fun with it, I mean, for him, I think this is a moment where he probably needs to take it serious because he wasn't even looked at to come in the game to produce.
Yeah, anything. I was a little surprised he didn't get to play.
Well, I mean, but he doesn't. I mean, it was a 0-0, and we didn't really need anybody to hold the ball or keep possession. We needed to score, and so Doku and De Bruyne.
Doku came on. Absolutely, and I definitely thought that immediately De Bruyne was running the game. Shocked he didn't score, but certainly grateful. Certainly love to see the scoreline. And dude, I listened to the Football Terrace, and Terry does a full fan highlights afterwards. After the games, he brings fans on, and there was a Spurs fan. And I'm not making this up. I'm not just to throw shade. I am throwing shade, but I'm not making this up to do so. This dude comes on there, and after watching City absolutely run them over in everything but the scoreline, comes with the statement that, having just seen that, it's clear that Spurs are going to be City's title rivals for the next 5 years. Because now Klopp is gone. Arteta apparently is a bottle job, and so Spurs are City's only competition for the next 5 years. I was floored. I was like, what? What did you just watch? I don't know what's in the water for the Spuds, man, but that is some wild analysis. I mean, I don't even, I was shocked. I was shocked to hear that. I was like,
Are you though?
I mean, I don't know many Spud fans, to be honest with you. Most of what I hear is from YouTube. So, I'm familiar with Expressions and Fuad and Toby from the Big Six and, these guys. And most of them are reasonable. Expressions is a lot of fun to watch. But when he really kind of takes, an objective look at it, he's not as crazy biased as he seems when he's doing his sensationalist stuff. But yeah, I was floored. There's no way that the Ange hype is that big. That's that crazy. They had just I don't know.
First off, they got to worry about keeping him. I mean,
right? Is Liverpool going to sign him? I mean, because if Liverpool comes knocking, like legit, hey, we're serious. We want you. We will back you. You can buy and do, whatever you want. How do you say no?
Exactly.
I mean, we look at the league and that they made that statement. Didn't they make that statement before the Klopp statement was made, though?
No.
It was
after the Klopp. After Klopp.
Well, I mean,
that was part of why this person said that.
Well, I mean, it is what it is. I mean, you let people live in their vacuum, right? I mean, it doesn't matter because I mean, I'm sure Villa fans are like, Unai Emery is going to have them up there too, and this team and that. It's Man United, etc. It doesn't matter. I mean, because at the end of the day, I mean, Liverpool's going to start over, and they're going to bring a whole new person in. So they've known about this already. So I mean, it's not like they're shocked. They already know who their candidates are, and they already know what they're going to do. They're probably going to do the same thing City did, which was get the managing directing team with the manager that they get, because that City brought everybody from Barcelona for Pep. So they were on the same page. That's what they're going to do. I personally don't think Xabi Alonso is going to go to Liverpool. I think it's going to be someone we don't expect. But I mean, for Spurs, I actually think Ange will stay there. I don't think he's going to leave. I think he likes the project. I think he and Levy have shown that they have sort of a connection. Their issue's been injuries. They've been hurt, and obviously Sonny is, and I think it's Son. I'm just being honest with you. I think the reason City can't beat Sonny because when he's there, they don't beat him because they beat him with Kane. It's Sonny, and Sonny is on the other side of the world. So I think Ange likes Sonny. I think you got to remember there was the joke about Sonny's dad talking about he needs to go somewhere to win, and Sonny saw something in Ange. And so I think he believes in the two. And I mean, Son still has probably 3-4 prime years left in him.
Sure.
And he's a top tier guy. They can get tons of money for him if they wanted to sell him.
Mhm.
So I think I'm not going to say that Tottenham is going to be like challenging, but I think they have a solid enough team where I'd be surprised if they weren't challenging for top 4 next year. But I mean, Arsenal is going to be there, so I'm confused about like overlooking Arsenal. I really do think Villa will be there. I was wrong about Newcastle, but I think Newcastle will be better next year. There's just several other teams that are going to be better, just because.
Son is 31, by the way. I did not know that.
Really?
He turns 32 this year in July.
Yeah, but if we look at him, like he's sort of like in the Salah vein where he's sort of a late bloomer, and the style of play doesn't necessarily he doesn't have to be out athlete people with what he does. So I think he'll be fine. It's sort of like what's the guy at Bayern? Mueller.
Thomas Mueller.
Thomas
he's a
Mueller.
vampire.
I think he's
vampire.
Yeah, well, he made a Crossroads deal.
He's a vampire.
He sold his soul to a demon.
Well, he won a World Cup champion. He's won everything. So I mean,
Oh, he's a legend. He's an
yeah.
absolute legend. For a minute there, he had the most goals in Germany's most World Cup goals in Germany's history for a little bit there. Him and Miroslav Klose were back and forth until Klose's last tournament. So, I mean, I got mad respect. And dude's been playing forever and ever and ever and ever. You know, I think
Son's contract runs out next June. 2020.
he'll probably sign another one. He'll probably stay. I think he'll definitely stay. But yeah, man, Spurs were not great. Barring Mickey van der Ven, I don't think anyone really had a good game. They defended well because they had no other choice. But yeah, all in all, I thought City dominated, and they are through to the next round. Luton Town, is that what you said, Lewis?
Luton Town.
Is it at
Luton Town? It's there.
Oof. It's going to be interesting. Going to be a tough one. But the next game on Wednesday, I do believe it is. Vince Company returns to the Emptyhad.
Rough pumpkins.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Not-
bud.
Yeah. Not going to be good. I mean, what else is there to say, really? It's going to be – I have 4-0. I feel like a bloodbath is coming, especially if De Bruyne gets more and more minutes. There's been rumors that Thor will be returning as well. You hear anything about that, Lewis? Will Haaland be back?
Yeah, he trained with the team, and he
Feels like he's been out forever.
It's been a
like
month.
2 months.
2 months. It's because there was a comment that he's been out for 2 months and he's still
on top of the freaking goal scoring chart.
But I think Pep has really taken a very interesting approach to this season where he's been really patient. Like De Bruyne could have started that last game and he was like, nope. And De Bruyne played, I think 30 minutes maybe. And I think he's really like Akanji will be back. I think everybody is fit except Stones for the next game. So I mean, I think they'll be fine. I mean, it'll be the lineup that you saw at Spurs, I think, because Kovacic, and I guess I left that out, but Kovacic looked great in the last.
He was good.
He looks good now.
He was good for Spurs. Yeah.
But the game before that, he's looked really good in these last few games. It looks like he's starting to pick up what he's supposed to do
at the Newcastle game.
Yeah, and that's great because I mean, he was Agent Kova for a little while, and now he's starting to look like he gets the City thing, which replacing Gundogan, right? Even though Gundogan, I'm not going to say I feel for him because that's his choice to go to Barcelona and go through whatever they're going through. He should have stayed, but we appreciate Kova. I mean, he doesn't necessarily have the greatest scoring boots, but he will hold the ball and give it to the right guys and let them do what they need to do. So I'm glad that he's doing that and he's sort of flourishing now in his role. But as far as a score, I think it'll probably be what'd you say, Jake? 3-0? I think 3-0 too. Or you said
I said 4.
Yeah, I think it's a 3-0. It's at
home.
I think Haaland will come on as a sub. De Bruyne will come on. that all those guys will get weaned in. I think it's great that the schedule has sort of lent itself to City to be able to kind of like wean those guys on, but it's also been great for the morale across the board to show that City's more than two guys, and that that they can balance, and other guys are stepping up, which is great. It's the opportunity for guys to show their value in different positions, but also to show their value that the team can win without them, because what happens is longer term that makes that push in cups and tournaments one where you believe in yourselves regardless of who's on the field.
Speaking of, do we see Grealish? Or will Doku start? Or is it the same? Foden, Silva?
I think you keep the same lineup. I don't think he's going to change anything. I mean, Grealish hadn't played in a while, so I don't see. I would find it hard to see him start, but yeah, because there has to be something going on behind the scenes with that, because he hasn't even like featured for anything. He hasn't warmed up anything, and I mean, obviously, you got the Kyle Walker thing that's going on. That's been insane goofballs, but I don't know.
Bro, why are you airing this out now?
Well, but he explained the reason he did it is because he said the tabloids were about to go with it, so he figured he would do it now instead of letting that happen, because I think it was coming out because like the only reason he was going to go to Barcelona, he didn't even want to leave City. The only reason he's going to go there, in Bayern, is because he was hoping to avoid what was about to come out about what he had 2 kids with another woman while being married with 2 kids, and he was going to run away from it. He owned it as much as you want to own it, right? And he's dealing with whatever it is, and I mean, I'm glad he logically said it. That he said, it would have been worse because his wife. I think him and his wife were going to try to work through it, or it hadn't come out or something. But then he said, I would have been in Germany without my family and without my kids. So what good would it have done me to run away from it? Then I can't see my kids and I'm all alone in Germany. And I'm like, good job. You didn't run away.
Yeah, look, I don't like Kyle Walker at all. He was a spud
exactly.
Before Man City, and I don't condone, obviously, his situation at all. But also, like, I understand the tabloids were about to out him and everything, and so he had to make a decision. But like, it's just a distraction. It's just a distraction. And he's always seemed professional. He's playing well this season. I feel like he's had some gaffes. He's had some poor games or whatever, and so I don't think it's necessarily really affected him on the field. And I think that's the best that can be said of that situation.
Well, I think that the team knew about it. So that's why I don't think it's a distraction, because they already knew, and they've been preparing for weeks. Because, for example, there's a couple of City sort of supporter people who have turned on him, and they're like, they don't want him to be the captain. But then, everybody literally responds with sense that the team picked the captain. Like, the manager didn't pick the captain. The team picks the captain. And they knew this was happening. It wasn't like they didn't know.
When they picked him.
Right. They knew this was going on because Pep had a dinner with him, and Pep probably was like, hey, man, if you run the Barcelona, you might not ever see your kids again. It's like, hey, you should probably stay here. So Pep, and it's not like Pep didn't know. So all of these guys knew these things were happening. Yeah. So as much as it could possibly seem like a distraction, I mean, is that more of a distraction than 115 charges? I don't think so.
No.
And even though the funny part is I love, because nobody couches the 115 charges in context, that all those charges were before Pep Guardiola showed up at the team. And which is more funny because, he just kind of is the whatever about it. But, they'll be fine. 3-0.
Yeah. What I was saying, guys, got a score?
Yeah, 3-0. 3-0's a decent. I'll go City 4-0 on Burnley, bro.
Yep, I can definitely see it. What you think, Patrick?
I feel like that this is a game where City could just go and run out of shot, just because of the way I froze. Sorry.
I
Just
can hear you,
because of the way that you know, they love Vinny and whatnot. Seriously, unfreeze. Like, what
You're
you doing?
frozen,
There we
man.
go.
There he
There we
is.
So, you know, just the way that City loves Vinny. But I think that respect is still there, and I don't think Pep allows us to get away. I think he knows what he has now with Haaland and De Bruyne coming back. So I'm gonna go actually 2-0.
Bit conservative, sure. But yes,
Tidy 2-0. You know,
no goals for Burnley. 4 City wins predicted. Low-hanging fruit, you might say, but it definitely seems like nothing but a City win. All right, guys. Seems like forever, but it's an Arsenal segment.
There it is.
Yay!
Who?
We
Also known as the
exactly.
Kai Havertz special.
Oh, you had to. Right out the rip, you had to. Speaking of, man, I've been the Arsenal Instagram, which is incessant, which kind of ticks me off a little bit, posted a video, 2-part video of Kai Havertz being interviewed by the dude that runs their socials in a golf cart. And apparently he was on his way to training during this, and they were telling jokes, and they were saying this and talking about this. And I've commented on both videos with some very scathing remarks about training harder, you know, perhaps maybe not posting stuff unless you're a winner. Like, the only way you get away with stuff is if you win. You know, so blanket statement. Hey guys, can we get off social media and maybe practice more? Maybe get in front of the goal for some extra shooting practice. Just saying. Jesus. But
Any
yeah.
responses? Any responses?
Oh, I've caught some. Yeah.
Wait.
I've caught some shade for sure.
There's no way that you said you wanted him to practice in front of goal when we watched him practice in front of goal. It's not practice that his problem is. It's not the practicing, sir. Can we just understand that his level is below what it needs to be for the team? So it's not a deficiency in effort; it's a deficiency in
talent.
It's just a
There
general. It's just a general idea that if you practice, you improve.
No, but you can cap out. You can cap players that lack the talent to then improve those levels that can take them to the next step on the stairwell. If your talent only exceeds to here, it does not matter how much you practice. You are capped. That's why generational players only come around so often, because they are the few that we look at and go, oh, that guy is not really capped. He's just going to keep getting better.
I'm going to jump on the back of what X is saying and say, imagine you're a world-class, or you think you're, in your brain, you think you're a world-class distance runner, but you have asthma. I mean, hey, man, you're only going as far as those lungs take you. If you genetically don't have the lungs for it,
you don't have the mind for it. He does not.
I was so excited for this segment. Like,
why were you excited?
Why were you excited?
Jake,
why are you
watch
excited?
This man practice.
I'm the idiot that knew X was going to bring up Kai Havertz immediately.
I'm not the one tweeting away on the golf cart, though, bro. That's not me. That's
what? What am I supposed to say? I lambasted them. Patrick just liked my comment. He just went out there and saw what I was doing. So I told him I gave him the what for. Hopefully, that they'll listen and be like, oh, you know, maybe we should put in a couple extra shots, you know. But that's not even what I wanted to talk on. Okay. Firstly, we have some nasty lies coming out of the Barcelona camp. You know, and Arteta in the presser immediately said it was fake news. Like, I've never heard him actually use the term fake news before, but he immediately shut those rumors down that he's definitely staying. He's about to sign a new contract anyway. Now, should he be signing a new contract? Should he be staying? That's a whole nother conversation. I like Arteta. Let me write out I'm a fan. I was a fan when he came to the club, I was a fan before he came to the club when he was still at Everton. I was a fan when he played for the club. He ended a bit of a FA Cup drought. It had been like 10 years or so, and then we won in 2014. He was the club captain at the time. Scored an awesome goal last time we beat City in the league. So, got some good memories of him, of his time as a player, and he come in as a coach, and I'm a fan, but there comes a time when, it's time to, it's as we've heard, it's time to nut up or shut up. We gotta get it over the line. We gotta win something, but unfortunately, I don't cut the checks. And I don't, get to say who stays and who goes. And because the Crunkies are, as we know, very happy with where Arsenal are right now, because they were happy to leave Wenger in this spot for years and years and years and years and years on end. So, of course, the Crunkies are going to be happy. Arteta has brought us back to Wenger standards. Fourth place trophies and all that jazz. And hey, and I'm not throwing shade at Arsene Wenger. I was a massive fan. He, still am. So I definitely think that even before the end of the season, Arteta will sign a new contract. And the Crunkies will be more than happy to give that to him, because we're back in Champions League. We're back in that Champions League trophy money. And so they, why should we let him go? And hopefully, rumor is we're going to spend huge in the summer after the COVID season's losses are knocked off the FFP accounting. And I can only hope that we do so. But we do have an interesting fixture tomorrow at Nottingham Forest, where we've lost 3 games running. All 1-0s, actually, by the way. And if you recall, Lewis, I'm sure you recall Arsenal's last 1-0 loss at Forest, because it handed you the trophy on a day where you didn't even play.
It's always nice.
And so also, fun fact, Arsenal fans out there, that was the day we got to see Thomas Partey play right back for the first time.
Speaking of, I see that he's back in training.
He's not in the squad. He's not in the squad.
I was just watching y'all's Instagram. It says Thomas Partey is back in training. That was 3 days ago.
Bro, they've been posting all kinds of madness about Partey's back. He's back in training. He's going to be back. No, he's not. He's not going to be back for Forest. Arteta straight up's like, he's not even in the team. And there's so much, like the Arsenal Instagram gives me high blood pressure, man.
I can see
it just spikes it irritates me to no end, that we spend more time on social media than we do in the training ground. It's absolutely freaking ridiculous. And we get made fun of it horribly for it. I was listening again to the Football Terrace today, and somebody said that they were discussing how should Arsenal lose to Forest and then to Liverpool, we're done and dusted. This season is just a write-off, And then the guy turns around and says, well, if they beat Forest and then they beat Liverpool, they're back and they're going to buy another dog. So, yes, I've accepted that we are a banter club and, that the jokes fly. But I do think that we should smash Forest. I do agree with the guy that if we beat Forest and then go on to beat Liverpool, we're right in it, right in there. And I also agree that should we lose both these games, it's dire. It's bad news bears. I really think that whatever happens at Forest, we have to beat Liverpool.
Yes.
Straight up, have to beat Liverpool. But we'll definitely get to that on Thursday. As far as tomorrow goes, massive fixture. There's some interesting personnel choices. And you guys know me, I wouldn't have Havertz anywhere near this game. So if it was me, I'm saying Declan Rice, Martin Odegaard, and Emmy Smith-Rowe, who is actually fitter than he's been in a while. He came in, yes, it was 10 days ago, so maybe he's probably even more fit, even more ready to go. He came in against, Palace and up the levels. It's not hard to do when you're coming in for Kai Havertz, but he looked energetic, looked like he wanted the ball, looked like he was working hard. And so I want to see him in there again. But also I've heard calls for Jorginho, Rice, and Odegaard from different fan channels. I'm less inclined with that one. Yes, Georgie's had some good cameos recently. Come in versus Palace and was solid. I think versus Forest, though, the way this game is going to go. And, I don't know if I've seen enough of Nuno's Forest because my gut instinct is, it's going to be a low block FC. But that was Cooper's Forest. In the only 2 games I've seen for Nuno, they've been far more open. Now, it is Arsenal, and despite the banter, we do, as we've seen, instill some fear in some teams to where they have put a low block in front of us. And, of course, Martinelli struggles with no space. Saka has really struggled without any space this season. What's he on, like 4 or 5 goals? So I think that could be a strategy they might go with. And in that case, I kind of want to see Trossard start. Like we discussed last time, if Martinelli comes in 70th minute, 65th minute, and homie's tired, whoever it'll be over there, because Forest are like Chelsea. They have a ridiculous amount of players, so you're not really sure who's going to be over there on the right.
Is it Ola?
It might be.
Or is he on the other side?
No. If Nuno Tavares might be tied. He might not be able to play because it's a loan. It wasn't a buy. Nuno Tavares is a loan, so he will not be able to play against us.
So one will be Ola Aina. He'll either have Trossard or Martinelli or Saka.
Saka's starting.
Saka. Yeah, well, no, I'm saying I don't know which side he plays on.
Yeah.
I think it's on Saka's side.
I'm just saying that Martinelli, it might be Martinelli or Trossard.
Right.
One or the other. And very well could be, Martinelli, Trossard, and Saka. I heard something today about how, Jesus has not necessarily looked at his best, and maybe he's just not as fit as we thought. Maybe he hasn't really come back as much as we thought from the knee injury, because he's had like 2 or 3 setbacks since the World Cup where he, had the big injury and had surgery. He kind of, and I think he's lost a step, maybe a half a step. He hasn't looked the same since that injury. He's still got the twisty goos and the turns and the jinx and stuff. But when I saw him go through for that 3rd goal versus Palace, and Nathaniel Klein, granted, is quick, always has been fast, even since the Southampton days. And so, yes, he was always going to catch Jesus, but he caught him so quickly. He caught him so fast that Jesus had to pass on that one. And, of course, it was a perfect pass. Trossard finished with a plum. So I would not mind seeing both of them, but I think Trossard should start this game, whether it's for Martinelli or for Jesus. I think he deserves it. I think he played well, got his goal, took it nicely. So I want to see Trossard myself. Ideal lineup for me, probably Trossard, Jesus, Saka, Smith-Rowe, Odegaard, Rice. And then our last year's back line is healthy, so it'll be Zinni, Gabrielle. Well, actually, Gabrielle's and Rice are both we're doing like fitness tests today to see if they would be fit. And I think they will be.
Yeah.
But because if not, it's Kivior coming in for Gabrielle, and that's a worry.
There's your goal scorer. You can't lose your goal scorer.
We can't lose our best goal scorer. Yeah,
I mean,
our fox in the box.
Fox in the box. It's all about.
Oh my goodness! Yeah, and then of course it'll be Raya. It'll definitely be Raya again. As much as I feel like Ramsdale's been hard done by, but that whole conversation is just gone. Raya is Arteta's number one, so that's what I expect to see. But yeah, this one won't be easy. It'll be tough. Chris Wood he's in great form right now. Hat trick against Newcastle. And Forest, I think, have only lost one of their last 5 or 6 games. So they're in good form currently as well. But of course, I got to back the boys, man. We'll be wearing that snot rag. So I don't know. Maybe it'll be something for the wait. Here we go. Yeah. So they drew in the cup, and then they won the replay. That was against Blackpool. They beat United. They lost to Brentford. That's the loss. Yeah, and then they drew Bristol yesterday or 2 days ago. But yeah, that was Tony's first game back in the foam gate. But yeah, if Matty Turner's in goal, I'm encouraged. And knowing Arteta, he'll set up the press to let Turner have the ball. Kind of like we did versus United at home, where we let Onana have the ball but blanketed everyone else, so he didn't really have a pass out.
Yep.
And make Turner make like a decision. And a lot of the times he's just going to give us the ball. And, hopefully we can finish. On paper, we should absolutely smash them. They have a number of guys in the AFCON. I was watching the highlights of Senegal and Ivory Coast. There's like 5 Forest players in that game. It was crazy. So yeah, they're definitely down a few people. But yeah, we got to look out for Gibbs White, of course, and Chris Wood's on a tear. But yeah, I think Arsenal are going to have what it takes. I've gone for a 2-1 to the Arsenal.
That's what I went with too.
Of course.
No,
of course you did.
No, I mean, I'll give my reasoning why. I think y'all have a little momentum going into this one. You're most definitely fit. You got Forest coming off of a draw against League 2 side, or is that a
Bristol City? Yeah, they're League 2.
So I mean, I think
once in 21 days.
They won once in 21 days.
No, Arsenal have played one time in 21 days.
Jeez, it's insane. Yeah, y'all are fit for sure. If you're not, there's a problem. So I do think that y'all will most definitely look the better side. I think it's going to be one of those you get up to, you chill, they get a goal late, kind of thing.
Typical.
And it'll be 2-1.
What you thinking, X?
If Gabrielle doesn't play, I might go for a draw.
I think y'all smash these guys. I think you got 2-0, 0-2 written all over this.
I love it. Yep. I would love to see it. Nice shutout, away shutout. That'd be great. What you thinking, Lewis?
I got a 1-0 for Arsenal because I'm just looking, and I think because Arsenal's kept the most clean sheets in the competition, and Forest and Arsenal haven't drawn in their last 7 matches. I don't think Forest is better than them. Arsenal 1-0.
Succinct. Like it. Certainly love the result. But someone who's not really loving results right now that I want to discuss, what in the world is going on with Marcus Rashford?
Dude, he hates his coach, man.
Yes, I hear that. But I mean,
all day.
that's no excuse, dude. That's not an excuse for the madness that let me ask you this, X. If you called in sick tomorrow and then your boss, one of your coworkers or something, or perhaps the Athletic newspaper shows your boss that you've been out partying the last 2 nights and you were out till 4 a.m. tonight, and then you called it and told him you were sick, so you're not going to come in, what would be the consequence?
One of two things: either A, I'm going to be made to use a sick day, or they're going to change the sick day to PTO and be like, busted, haha, nice try. Or you walk in and you're fired. Like,
yeah,
it's either going to go one of those two ways.
So, are you getting paid $350,000 a week?
No. We'd be doing this podcast in Dubai if I was making
Like my thing on this is, you signed a contract saying you would listen to the coach and you would do what the coach says. It didn't say anything about you liking the coach in your contract for $350K a week. It just, and I'm not saying don't go party and don't go out, have a good time or whatever, but this ain't even the first time something like this has happened. After they lost comprehensively to City, he was seen out and about.
Yeah, he just changed his team.
At the very least, don't get caught. Avoid the camera. Don't do a stupid goal celebration for some rando to take your picture at the club. Like, bro beans, get a private room.
Nope. Oh, yeah. You can
get a private room. You got more money than everyone in that club combined. Just get your own room, man.
Yep.
How hard is it to think a little bit about the fact that you are the face of Manchester United?
Yep, 100%.
Arguably arguably the biggest club in the country.
According to Barstool Sports, Manchester United was the most recognized club in the world.
There you go. Most recognized, biggest club on the planet.
Don't agree with it, but that's what
you're the face. You're the one you're the golden boy. You're the Manchester born and bred, the guy that's supposed to bring the team out of the mud. Bring the team, everyone's supposed to rally behind you, man. And not only are you're not doing that at all. Secondly, you're having a really poor season. What's he got? 3 goals? 3 goals, something like that?
If that.
Look, it's one thing if you're crushing it. If y'all are top of the league and you're scoring goals week in and week out, and you overdid and you're puking and you can't come to practice.
Yeah. Different.
That's one thing. But if this isn't even the first time this has happened, your team's in the mud, you just, maybe it was that much disrespect for Newport County that he's like, these guys don't even need me, which was clearly false.
Yeah.
Your boys struggled, not the boys, like the men, the team. It was Casemiro, Varane, Martinez, Luke Shaw, Garnacho, Hoyle. It was the team. The strongest team that United can put out.
Yep.
And they absolutely made ridiculously hard work of the 14th place team in League Two.
72 spots behind them in the table. Or in the pyramid.
Didn't you tell me they played Wrexham last week?
Yeah, I think you said they played Wrexham.
Newport played Wrexham last week or something like that.
I think so.
And your boys struggled. Meanwhile, you couldn't be bothered. Johnny Evans is 900 years old. Also missed practice for being ill on Friday. He was on the bench. He was there for the game, showed up for his boy. Could you imagine if somebody did this while John Terry was the captain?
Oh my God. He'd go find you in the club.
What about Vidic? Vidic would
just imagine if Roy Keane was in that locker room.
Yeah.
You might get punched in the face, dude.
Oh yeah, for sure.
There might be violence in the locker room. But for me, it just goes to show he's got no respect for Ten Hag. He's got no respect for the Glazers. He's got no respect for any authority above him. And clearly, why should he? They're not doing anything about it. He's getting a 2-week fine. He might get suspended. Maybe. But he can't because Ten Hag knows he needs him. Ten Hag is in desperation mode, survival mode.
Well, yeah, he's becoming more and more under pressure as they creep down all of this and can't
8th place
and can't reproduce last year's magic.
8th place.
And it just goes to show because, and Rashford knows this. This is Rashford pulling this. Rashford knows Man United was only where they were because of Rashford. So he's like, you know what? I'm going to sit the bed. I'm going to prove a point. Y'all can't do this without me. We'll finish 8th. Watch me do this. I'll act like a petulant child, and this guy won't finish above mid-table.
It makes me so mad. It just makes me so mad. It makes me so mad. The guys that are good, that are really good, that are really talented, and have enormous potential, that throw it in the bin like this, make me so mad.
Yep.
You're too good, man.
I agree.
You're too good to not be focused on the game. Dude, you could party. You could retire tomorrow and be fine. You know, are you not trying to achieve something? Or are you just happy that you've gotten your big contract?
Yep.
And there's no consequences for anything at all. So you can just do whatever. Like, it's just shocking that there's no standard at that club. No standard of professionalism. No standard. And this isn't Blackburn we're talking about here. This is flipping Man U. Growing up this dude, you'd be on the first plane, dude. You'd be sold to Saudi so fast if it was Sir Alex Ferguson in charge. Dude, you'd be in Saudi Arabia right now, bro.
But that's the thing, you wouldn't have done it without Ferguson in charge.
100%, exactly, and that's where the standards have just plummeted at that club. And
I mean, you've got a captain who is not, I don't think, a good representative of the club, or maybe he is a great representative of the club at this point.
I think he's, yeah. I think he,
you know, he also I feel like sometimes that clubs they try to play in the sense of we buy these guys, but we kind of know deep down all we're really trying to do is make money. And I think you were kind of making a point about, Kroenke and Arsenal. Now that y'all are in Champions League, the money's kind of dried up a little bit, because you're making money now for them. The investment is starting to pay them. So, of course, they're wanting to get theirs, and that's fortunately how business works. But it feels like with the Glazers involved, with Ten Hag involved, it doesn't feel like they're being serious. you know, I wanted Rafael Varane for Chelsea for a long time. But there came a point to where it's like, all right, he's not at that level anymore. Casemiro, same thing. He's not at that level anymore. We joke about, Inter Miami and the MLS and being a retirement league. And what's the difference between Man United right now and Inter Miami? Answer me that. What's the difference?
They're the Inter Miami of the Premier League.
Oh my God, man. You're on mute, dude. I don't know what
Messi.
there he is.
Messi. I'm trying to spell it.
Oh yeah.
E.
Yeah, but even Ronaldo said United wasn't serious and left with prejudice.
But think about it. I mean, truly think about it. Inter Miami's got 4 stars, so to speak.
Big up Al Hilal, by the way, for the win today.
Oh, they did?
They beat Miami today 4-3, yeah.
Oh, wow. Oh, that's right. That's right. Messi scored, but they lost. That's right.
Well, Thursday is the game.
Thursday's the game. Okay, so it wasn't
the game.
So it wasn't the Ronaldo Messi Classic today. It was Al Hilal. Yeah, that's
on the MLS Network. Right. Go watch that.
Why?
Yeah, I got alerted.
Why?
They were showing Messi's, debut or whatever.
I'd rather watch Wolves and Man U on Thursday.
All day.
Yeah. But my point being is Inter Miami is like, you know what? We're going to bring these guys in and make money. We're going to make money. But they're past it. United's kind of doing the same thing as an MLS club is doing. They have their youth, okay, we got our youth and whatnot. But let's go spend our money on all these guys who are past it. And you can't tell me that it doesn't really track because, Varane,
Casemiro, Maguire, Evans.
You go down the list and you're just like,
what is this?
Luke
Shaw ain't young.
That team. I talk about Chelsea's immaturity, and it's very prevalent. But you also see that reason why is because it's a very young team.
Mm-hmm.
United's not a young team. Yeah, they have some guys that are, like Mano and Hannibal.
Hannibal's been loaned out. He ain't even there. He ain't even there no more.
Wow. Yeah, I'm shocked by that. I thought he wouldn't be going on a loan. But Rashford should be the example in that club. And I think it truly, it looks bad on him, but I think it speaks more on Ten Hag. You can't get your guy who grew up in this club to not go party before a match. You have him lying to you. You have him going and traveling places when you're 8th in the league. You look terrible the last few times out. You can't get that guy to step up and say, hey, I'm going to fix this because I grew up in this club and I know it's better than that. That's an indictment on the manager.
100%. I agree.
100%.
And for all of these reasons, I think they're going to struggle mightily.
Yeah, I think Wolves actually get the revenge here because they're at home
for the first day. Yeah.
Oh, they want that. They want that back. I think they get it here. I think it's 2-1 Wolves.
2-1 Wolves. Yeah. Wolves were in a bit of a madness of a game in the FA Cup at West Brom, which is it's a rivalry. It's like a derby, a local. It's like a geographic derby. If you didn't know, I don't know exactly where this is, but I know that West Brom is very close to Wolves. They were talking about it was definite rivalry game, and apparently some of the Wolves fans found their way to the West Brom stand, the home stand. And on Wolves' second goal, maybe talked a bit too much smack and got smacked. And the 20. Oh no, it was bad. Someone went to the hospital. There were other injuries. Like 30 cops stormed the stand. There was a 45-minute delay. Right? Yeah, man. Yeah, it was crazy. It was nuts. But Wolves were definitely the better team, and I think they'll be the better team on Thursday. This is the last game of the match week, actually. And X, I agree with you. Pedro Neto's back. Cunha's on form. No Chan. South Korea is still doing good out in Qatar. So, but yeah, I said 2-1 Wolves as well.
I'm going to go 2-0 Wolves.
That's doable as well.
Oh, yeah. You don't think Anthony's about to go on a tear now that he's broken his 30-game goal drought?
No,
he got one against Newport County.
On another 30-game goal drought is what's going to happen.
Oh no! What you saying, Lewis?
I got a 1-1 draw. I don't think United is good, but I mean, I don't really like. Wolves have been sort of an enigma for me to figure out. They're good at home. They're unbeaten.
They are.
They're unbeaten in 9 games at home, and they haven't lost in 7 matches. I think they'll use the moment as a rallying cry, United, to get a draw. I see a draw. I want to pick Wolves, but I'm gonna go with a draw.
Yeah, fair enough. Well, I think it remains to be seen if Rashford will be. I think he will be available. Ten Hag said he was going to deal with it internally.
Yeah, that means
whatever that means. So for me, it feels like I feel like he's saying,
"You, bro."
I feel like he's just saying I can't drop Rashford. He's too important.
Yeah,
exactly. And so I expect that we will see him in some capacity on Thursday. I personally do not think it will make a difference.
Not one.
But yeah, let's go ahead and do some rapid fire predictions for the rest of the match week. Of course, if there's anything interesting, because there are some spicy fixtures, we can pause for a second and give our thoughts. But that being said, we'll start with Fulham Everton. I've gone 2-1 to Fulham. Everton have just lost at home to Luton Town in the FA Cup. And Fulham, kind of a bit of an enigma, but they're very, not very, I don't know if I'm going to say very, but they're decent at home. So I've gone 2-1 Fulham.
I went with the same, actually.
I hear there's talk that Barcelona want to sign Jedi.
He was linked with Chelsea last week, and I'm like, no, that makes no sense.
I don't know. He's been decent this season.
He has. He actually has.
What was saying, X?
I'll go 2-0 Fulham.
2-0 Fulham.
Yeah.
All right. What you thinking, Lewis?
0-0 draw.
The 0-0 of the week, huh?
Of the week?
Not for me, it's not. But yeah, I can definitely see it. Yeah, might be an interesting one. But yeah, I think Fulham might just edge it. Next up, Brighton at Luton Town.
Sorry about you, bud.
Interesting game, though. Luton has given everyone issues at the Kenny.
Yeah.
Kenilworth Road. The Kenny, that's what I was looking for. And Brighton have been a little shaky. Haven't been on the best run. I've gone 1-1.
Dude, I did the same thing.
Stop it.
I will take a picture right
Stop
now
it.
to show you. Let me finish.
We did our predictions simultaneously right before we came on.
No, I didn't. I actually been doing them while we've been talking.
Oh, okay. Yeah, a likely story. What was saying, X?
0-0.
This is your 0-0. Okay. Lewis?
I got 3-1 Brighton.
All right. Some confidence in old De Zerbi. Amidst rumors he's going to Pool, eh?
Or Barcelona, or just name the team.
Absolutely. And now we've reached my 0-0 for the week. Palace hosting Sheffield United.
Oh, no. Palace going to win that 2-0.
That's what I got.
Yeah, 2-0.
Nope.
Sheffield ain't going to do nothing.
Bro, they are much improved. I don't know if you've watched them recently, but they are steadily improving. And Palace are not at all. It's Eze against the world over there, and I don't think he's going to be able to break down the low block. I've gone for the 0-0. Still out. Still out. What'd you think, Lewis?
It says Palace hadn't scored in their last 3 matches. I'm going to go 1-0 Palace, though, just because I hear you, but I just don't see it in Sheffield.
He's back fit and could play and could start, actually. This is according to the standard 13 hours ago.
Yeah. Might not matter. No space. No space for him to work in. Low block FC. And Sheffield, I think, are going to make a run for it. I think they'll trip on the last hurdle and not quite survive. But I think it won't be as as much of a sob story as we may have expected. But yeah. What do I have next? Aston Villa hosting Newcastle. I've got a Barnstormer.
3-2.
Yep. 3-2 to who?
Villa.
Villa. Yeah, because they're at home.
Is that your score as well, Patrick?
Yes.
I'm gonna be upset if it is.
It is. Seriously.
Bro.
I'm sending you a picture right now just for proof.
I've had enough of this. I'm not gonna gain any points on you this one.
I'm sending you a picture right now.
If the Palace Sheffield prediction is the only one. Yeah.
We have something different for Spurs and West Ham.
We might. The way this is going.
I have my picks here in a second, so.
The way this is going, but yeah, I've said 3-2 to Villa as well. An absolute barnstormer. What you thinking, Lewis?
I think it's a 2-2 draw.
2-2. Yeah, definitely going to be a good game. Definitely going to be a good game. I think Newcastle will be able to get in behind Villa, be behind that high line. So that one should be fun. That one should be a really fun game for sure. But, of course, the Bees are visiting 3-Point Lane. And we've gone for something different. Yes. But it's sad because you've picked a Brentford win and I didn't.
No, you didn't.
I said 2-2. Should be a fun one. Tony, my man Tony.
Oh, yeah.
This was gonna be back and forth. I feel like I've heard some Spurs fans saying they think Brentford will low block it. I don't. So this should be an open game. Should be a fun game. But I think Tony should be able to figure out this high line.
Oh yeah, I think it fits perfectly for him.
And I think matched up with Van der Ven, that'll be a good battle to watch. But I think Tony's going to have a bit too much. I've gone for 2-2. Nice, fun game. Says here 2-1 to the Bees.
Going with a brace for old Ivan Toney.
Yes, sir.
Again, I ask, who's going to score for Spurs? I feel like this is a little bit better matchup for them to get a goal, but I don't have confidence in them scoring.
James Maddison?
Yeah, maybe.
He'll start. He should be fit.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. What you saying, Lewis?
I got 3-2 Spurs.
All right. Should be fun. Should be fun. Little bounce back for the Spuds. What you think, X?
Oh, yeah, I say the X pick one.
I'm gonna go Brentford 1-0.
Ooh. Interesting to pick a shutout.
I agree with Patrick here though. I just don't know who's gonna score a goal.
If you guys have jinxed this and the Pigeon Man does a madness, I'm going to be upset with you. I'm going to be upset with you,
I'll be upset too.
to be honest with you. Timo Werner, man. Werner. No?
No.
No?
He doesn't score goals.
We went through this, okay?
If they passed it to him, he might.
For a tippity tap in.
Yeah, he's yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
He needs
Maybe.
someone to play off of. Richarlison is not who you play.
Yeah, exactly.
Play off of.
That's fair. That's fair. But yeah, Ange might have something cooked up. We'll have to wait and see. And last, but certainly, well, perhaps maybe least, you know how I feel about West Ham. The Cherries coming to London. I've got a 2-2, Dominic Golanke.
Okay.
And the boys should be fun. I expect Bournemouth to actually have more of the ball. West Ham are just way too comfortable sitting back and countering. But I think that they'll be able to do so with some effectiveness, and it'll be a fun game. 2-2. What are we saying?
I went 2-0.
2-1. Okay. 2-1 to the Hammers, yeah.
All right.
I think West Ham's size gives
They're just
they're
big, bro.
Dom Solanke
They're big.
issues. So as a result, I think he doesn't score. And you know, Bowen gets one, and good old James Ward-Prowse.
Don't give him a free kick.
Some fashion.
Don't give up fouls on the top of the box.
Nope.
Do not do it. What you saying, Lewis?
I got 1-0 West Ham.
1-0 to the Hammers. Wow. I'm the only one with any hope for Bournemouth. Yes, sir. 1-0. I think Bournemouth are going to be just fine this season.
Oh yeah, I think they're fine too.
Been playing well. Maybe not so much away from home, so they could struggle, but I'm sticking with it. I think it'll be a good one for sure. All right, well, that's all of the predictions there. Have you guys happened to catch any of the AFCON?
I just watched a bunch of highlights. Yeah. Crazy.
It's been nuts the past couple of days. They have started the knockout rounds, and they've all gone to penalty kicks. I think 4 of the 5 highlights I watched went to penalties. Dude, Cape Verde.
4 games, 2 penalty shootouts.
I watched 3 penalty shootouts.
Hold on. Let's see if
Cape Verde advanced versus Mauritania or something like that.
Mauritius is in the Caribbean.
There you go. It's an African nation. How's it in the Caribbean?
No. I'm saying Mauritius, I believe, is in the Caribbean.
Oh.
Mauritania, yeah, right.
But that one was like a back and forth. I mean, I watched like an extended highlight package. It was like 20 minutes long or something. That was back and forth. And then the Congo have beaten Egypt in a penalty shootout. Interestingly enough, Mustafa Mohammed scores the penalty in regulation for the 1-1 to go to extra time and penalties. misses in the shootout. Oof. And Mo Salah is home. And we got the caveman coming back to London as well, old Mo El Neni. He'll be back. Dude, I love El Neni. I'm a fan. He played every minute for Egypt.
That's awesome.
He hardly plays at all for Arsenal, but
He was
first name
fit for it then.
first name on the team sheet for Egypt, apparently, right there in the middle. He had an opportunity to win the game, actually, but no one's really looking to Mo for the for goals.
No.
Egypt down on penalties. And then the big one, the Ivory Coast and Senegal. I'm pretty sure Senegal
went home.
I'm pretty sure they are the holders. I'm pretty sure they won last time.
I think
so. Yeah. And Senegal led from the 4th minute. And it took an 86th minute penalty to tie it up and send it to overtime. And coincidentally, the same man, Mr. Frank Kessié. I was trying to figure out who he plays for. Is he playing for Paris?
No, he's now at
or is it Milan?
Barcelona, I believe.
Kessié is at okay.
I think it's Barcelona.
Okay, Frank Kessié. Yeah, I think he is.
It says he's at Al Heat.
Oh, he left there then.
All right.
He is in the Saudi League.
Well, fair enough.
So he was at Barcelona then.
But he hit the last penalty for Ivory Coast to win it, as well as the penalty in the 86th minute to tie it up. So was definitely able to convert. Mendy, your boy Mendy, former Chelsea goalkeeper, actually had a decent match.
Did he have he caused the PK?
Yes, he did.
Yeah, I thought he took.
But it wasn't his fault. Let's be honest. The ball comes in, and the Senegalese defender doesn't even look at anything. He doesn't look at anything at all, and tries to head it back to his goalkeeper, heads it right to. No, you know what I'm thinking? I'm thinking of the Cape Verde game. Cape Verde scored in like the last minute or something. To win. That's what it was. That's the game that didn't go to penalties, but it was a penalty that won the game. That's why I was confused.
Right.
In the 88th minute, the ball comes over. Like it wasn't even like a cross. There was no one in the box for Cape Verde. Ball comes down, right? And I guess the forward was reading what was happening, and the defender, with his eyes in the air, never looks in front of him, tries to head it back to the goalkeeper, right to the Cape Verde player, who's by himself on the 6, and gets clobbered, gets taken way out by the goalkeeper, and Ryan Mendes, the captain of the Cape Verde Islands, steps up, sends them to the quarterfinals.
Wow.
Yeah, 88th minute. Ice in the veins.
About to say,
to send them through. And then I think there was only one other game. I remember watching the highlights. I can't keep up.
It's a lot.
There's so much going on. Yeah, okay. Guinea beat Equatorial Guinea with a 98th minute goal. They were up a man. It was a red card in the 55th.
Job.
But a last minute winner to make it through to the quarterfinals. I think the most shocking one is the Congo one, to be honest with you. Egypt actually did get a red.
Clearly, he knew what he was doing there. He knew what he was doing.
Oh yeah. For sure. But
he didn't even come close.
Yeah. And as far as the Asian Cup goes, I haven't really been keeping up with that one as much. Looks like Australia are through, and Tajikistan
Tajikistan. All right.
stun the UAE in penalties again. Lots of penalties. To
Qatar's
advance.
through.
Qatar's through. I'm
They
pulling
beat
it up
Palestine.
now. And Jordan are also through in what looks like a crazy game.
2 red.
Oh,
Both have red cards.
2 reds, a 95th and 97th minute goal. Holy crap. I need to go back and look at those highlights there. That looks like a crazy match. But yeah, man, the African Cup of Nations has been pretty awesome so far. Looks like the Asian Cup is heating up as well. I'm sure Japan and Korea will be in there. They might be playing tomorrow, actually.
Korea plays at 11 a.m. tomorrow against
Lot of-
Saudi Arabia.
Oh,
And plays at 6:30 a.m. on Wednesday against Bahrain.
there you go, man.
I think here's one for geopolitical reasons and whatnot. Iran, Syria at 11 a.m. on Wednesday.
Ooh, all right.
That might be a tune in.
Yeah.
I gotta figure out where they're being played. Like what channel can I watch them on?
Bootleg.com.
Yeah, right.
Well, the
Yeah, I'm
Iran
not
game is on Paramount Plus.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. There you go. You know what? That's where they are. Yeah, okay.
All right.
Morocco plays South Africa tomorrow as well. That might be a good game.
Back
Back in the AFCON. Yeah.
Wow.
Yep. But of course, it's Arsenal Forest at 2:30. So we you guys know where my attention will be.
Yeah.
Yep.
I get it.
Yep. I might tune into that Saudi Arabia, South Korea game. Should be a fun one.
That could
Should
be
be
a
a fun one.
That really could be a fun one to watch.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, tons of action coming up. Lots of games, lots of goals, hopefully. And of course, the games don't quit because it is another match week at the weekend. And we'll definitely be back Thursday with the reviews, with the previews for the weekend. Of course, lots of important ones coming up. Hopefully, Chelsea can do it for Patrick's birthday on Wednesday. And of course, Arsenal need a Chelsea victory as well. Just hate having to cheer for the Blues. I'm not a fan of that, but I will be doing that on Wednesday. And of course, I'm a Burnley fan this week. Of course, we can only hope that Vince can do an absolute madness, but I doubt it. And of course, Arsenal have an absolute crucial match at the City Ground. So yeah, we're certainly pumped, certainly excited. And if you are as excited as we are, go ahead and smash the like button, get the likes up on the video. If you're new, subscribe to the channel. We certainly appreciate you being here. We are on our way to 200 subscribers, so go ahead and smash that one as well. And if you're enjoying all the content, get the notification bell on. We will be back on Thursday. Once again, we certainly are grateful you're here. Thanks for listening as well, and you will see us next time.